Hi everyone, I hope you're well. This is CoinsKid. Just going to dive into Bitcoin once again. Thank you for support. Okay, big up the CoinsKid crew. So right now, Bitcoin is putting a little bit of retracement, hasn't it? You know, we've lost that structure there, that ascending triangle. And we've actually come down and lost the apex, and we're falling right now. We're retracing to that low that I showed you yesterday. It's unfortunate we're not getting the breakout here, but there is potentially right now a big, massive W bottom pattern that's forming on the daily. I'm going to show you that as we dive into the charts. But something I want to show you right now is there's a lot of fear in the market here, right? And loads of people are calling for the 30k Bitcoin, the 20k Bitcoin, the 14k Bitcoin. I've seen some calls of an 8k Bitcoin, you know, but we sort of come down here, we retrace like we did in the summer, we sort of, you know, come down without any kind of relief rally really, or any kind of upside, which is unusual. Okay, you don't usually see that. So it's like, you know, the trend is really strong, it's pushing down, but it can't continue forever. Like I've said to you so many times, you do usually see a retracement, okay, to some kind of relief rally up to a key level resistance and continue with a downtrend. The same with when you go up, you know, you always see a retracement to a key level support to continue with the uptrend basically. So one thing we're looking for here on Bitcoin is the break above the daily 20 EMA. We're not getting it yet. That's where we're getting rejected every time at the moment. But there is a potential right now that we are bottoming out, and I'm going to tell you why, because of other coins. Okay, now if you remember way back in the summer, okay, when Bitcoin corrected and came down and had that whopping correction around about 28k and started to coil up, level of consolidation, it started to get out of there. You know, I was looking at other coins, and one of those two coins I was looking at that were creating reversal bottoms and structural support for the continuation to the upside. One was Solana. Okay, I think I was giving it around about $18, I think it was, and I laid down the fibs and it went to 2.272 target. It met to $1 where it's running to resistance. It's starting to retrace. Okay, so at that point, you know, I gave you that opportunity at the foot of the mountain when everyone was really fearful and everyone was in despair and disbelief and you know, basically depression for the continuation of the bear market or some kind of whopping bear market or massive even capitulation rollover event for Bitcoin, you know. But I gave you them opportunities. Solana did well over a 10x, and then Avalanche as well, AVAX did well over a 10x. I think one did something like a 15x or something from what I remember. You know, certain coins that did do well and other coins that didn't, and that's the way it is, you know. But one thing here to me, you know, from a technical standpoint I'm looking at is, if we are at the bottom of the mountain here and we are at the foot of the mountain for Bitcoin in this correction, and everyone's getting really, really fearful again and everyone's really depressed and calling, you know, for them lower targets on Bitcoin. And another thing, people don't always get what they want, or the market doesn't always keep going in a direction. Okay, we're up there at 69k. I said it's got to retrace. If it holds a retracement, holds support, you're looking for continuation. You're looking at that 100k and things like that. You know, but we never got that. Okay, so there's an example of it doesn't keep going where you want it to go. Okay, and it's the same when it's coming down. It doesn't always keep coming down the way people, you know, people get greedy at the bottom, people get greedy at the top, don't they? So the best way to make money at the minute is just keep shorting resistance, but it doesn't consistently do that. You will always break that resistance and come up for retracement, get a confirmation of the downtrend that you're in on the macro time frame, which is the monthly we're looking at, and the weekly. You know, we get that confirmation right there, and then yeah, you're getting your bear market confirmation, you're rolling. So the thing I'm looking at here is what could tell me right now that Bitcoin is bottoming out, you know, and it's altcoins. It's certain altcoins that are sitting on the absolute bottom of their lows. Now, if they lose them lows, they're confirming a bear market for me. Now, there's two coins here that are doing it, and I do cover these coins. There's one called XRP, okay, which you're familiar with. I think off channel watch this, the XRP videos. That's sitting right on the, it's not come down to the 50-cent lows of the summer, but it's close. It's come down to 54 cents, which is still a higher low structurally. Okay, so it's still structurally hanging on by the skin of its teeth to the confirmation of a bear market and losing a whopping descending triangle, giving you a technical target of around about 27 cents if you don't watch the XRP videos. The same goes for this coin here, Chainlink. Now that's basically done a double bottom. It came down to 13.38 in the summer, and then it started to retrace back up. I think it went up to about $38. It looks negative, but in actual fact it's creating a beautiful structural low at the moment, and it's actually a higher low. So like I said to you, at the foot of the mountain, you need to find opportunities, because obviously Bitcoin, if it starts to retrace, it's going to do well and it goes up, you know, 50% or whatever. But when Bitcoin retraced last time and put in a new all-time high, there were greater opportunities in the alts, which I gave you Avalanche, won. Cardano put in a beautiful impulse as well, which I gave you, and Solana, you know, they did really, really well because they held their lows. You know, they never lost that key support, which I said to you, you're not getting a bear market confirmation on this coin because it's holding low. It's looking to break. This one, exactly the same. Okay, Cardano, exactly the same. It was holding the dollar lows, and at that point, just broke out unexpectedly. So this is what I'm saying. You know, people always don't see it. Basically, that's what I'm trying to say to you. They don't see the opportunity that is there. No one's seeing it there in Solana. No one's seeing it in Cardano. No one's seeing it in Avalanche. No one's seeing it in Harmony One. But you do. There's opportunity there. And the other one was Polygon, Matic. I absolutely called that on the absolute dollar, you know, and cent, where it would run into resistance and come in for its deep retracement. Absolute on the dollar. It's fibs. That's what you do. You use fibs. So it's okay having fib targets, but they don't always get met. You know, there are other coins that I've get forecasts on that have not gone there. You know, it is what it is. You know, you can't win them all. But so far, what I'm looking at is, what are the opportunities right here if Bitcoin is at the foot of the mountain right now, and it's looking like it wants to bottom out. It's looking for that structural bottom signature that we're looking for, which I'm going to show you in a minute. Where are the opportunities? Well, for me, it's on coins that are bottoming out and are not confirming a bear market, just like we did in the summer. So potentially XRP could be an amazing opportunity going forward, and equally Chainlink, but they are both on the thinnest line of a confirmation of a bear market creating a lower low. Do you understand that? You know, they're both under the 20 EMA as well on the monthly, which is really negative. I don't like to see that because that confirms a downtrend on the monthly. But there is some kind of squeeze that's happening here, and it's all about this coin here. It's all about Bitcoin. Now, if Bitcoin rolls here and goes to 30k, 28k, then for me, you know, your XRP's in a bear market, your Chainlink's in a bear market. You know, we need to find the lows on them. Like I said to you, there's a low down here at 27 cents because you're losing the descending triangle. I think Chainlink, there's a low at around about $7 that I've updated people in a previous video, and that would be the loss of a descending triangle as well. You know, so there are some negative patterns that are actually being created right there. Now, does that confirm that Bitcoin is going to lose this structural low that it's put in? We are getting the confirmation of a bear before we even get the retracement, and we lose the lows and we capitulate basically, and we get the rug pull over and done with. Now, that video I showed you yesterday from Tom Lee, an analyst, he's saying that this is actually the perfect sort of conditions for a violent rally. You know, after a big sell-off in the markets, everyone's fearful, everyone's sitting in cash. You know, so what we need to do, what we need to pay attention to is the DXY as well, because you know it's inversely correlated to crypto, Bitcoin basically. When the DXY is doing well and going up, you do usually see sort of Bitcoin flatlining, in some instances having a deeper correction. But you do see if a DXY runs into resistance and starts to come back and roll over, it's at that point you risk on assets basically do flourish and do really well. Okay, so there's a lot of FUD in the world at the minute, isn't there, with the war and the COVID and things like that. So there's a lot of FUD that's sort of contributing to this sort of correction that we've been going through since November, since topping out, which it puts fear into people and makes people feel fearful and depressed and things like that. But it's always, when you look back, you know, historically, they're always the best opportunities, but it never feels like it. And I've always said this to you. I've always said to you that opportunity never ever feels like it. And I was saying exactly the same in the summer, you know, when Solana was down there and everyone was trolling my videos saying, no way Solana's go to $200. It was down there at like $18 or something. There's no way Avalanche is going to above $100. I think it was down there at $15. You know, and I've got all the trolls in them comments as well, but it did it because you buy fear, you buy blood, you buy depression. Now there are opportunities. Okay, but again, nothing I say is financial advice. Everything is for educational and entertainment purposes only. But you know, potentially Bitcoin could be on the cusp of forming a beautiful W bottom, and we've got some very strong on-chain analytics for Bitcoin coming out. Okay, which shows potentially this is the buying opportunity for Bitcoin, not a selling opportunity. Do you understand that? So yeah, we've sort of ran into that resistance, and we're coming back looking for support, and we are actually carving out some kind of beautiful W bottom pan at the moment on Bitcoin. And like I said to you, if Bitcoin does carve out this W bottom pan at this instance, at this moment, okay, and we do put in that low, and over the next couple of weeks we start to rally hard for Bitcoin, then you lows on XRP and Chainlink, we're in the floor, and that's where you buy more basically. But again, nothing I say is financial advice. So yeah, let's dive into the chart, see what we can see. Okay. So looking at Bitcoin on the daily time frame, there is a potential here right now that we might start to form a beautiful double bottom at this point, okay, and we'll get the structural low that we're looking for. And you've got your V-shaped recovery into the EMAs, acting as resistance, rolling back, retracing to this low right now. You didn't necessarily get that breakout that we're looking for, okay. If you're looking for a confirmation statement, a reversal of the trend, wait to get back up at 20, hold and fall back as support, boom, you're getting the confirmation of breakout. Now something I want to bring to your attention here, okay, look at the def cross just there, okay. Now this def cross that we got just there was at 54532. Okay, do you see that def cross just there? Then the next one we got was actually higher than this one, okay, when we started to retrace here. So there's striking similarities here. We've got the double top pattern, we've got this sort of corrective wave down, and then we capitulate and then rolled again. Okay, just there we've got this double top pattern, then we've got this wave down, we capitulate, and then we roll again. Now look at the EMAs here, okay, the EMAs is kind of giving the game away. Let's take a look. So you've got your def cross just there, okay, we've got another def cross there which is higher than that, okay. Look at that def cross just there. Then we rolled. Now what did the EMAs do? The EMAs, to me, like I said to you, the EMAs can give the game away sometimes. Now we came down in this capitulation candle, and then if you look at the curve here, we put in this sort of relief rally just there, okay, where we got back above the EMAs, bit of a fake out like I said to you, and with that you're going to come down and fill this gap down here. And it's at that point you came down, you actually put your low in. Do you see that? Like I said to you, you relief rally, then you come down, you actually put your low in. And what you did there, by putting in the low, you rallied into the daily 20, and then you rolled, filled some of that gap on the wick, basically, a double bottom, a retest of this low, but a higher low. And it's at that point you got your V shape and got back above the EMAs. Now look at the similarities here. You've got your def cross, you've got your roll, okay, your capitulation candle like that. Then you start to come back up, and you've got your little fake out just there. Look at that little fake out above the EMAs. Everyone gets really bullish again. And at that point we've come rolled, and we've actually entered a level of capitulation, and this is essentially where we are right now. And we've come up, and we're coming up into this resistance just there. So essentially coming back to fill this wick, creating a higher low, okay. And if we start to do that, you're going to create a lovely WW bottom pattern, break that resistance, and this correction here is identical to this correction here, okay. I think it's round about the same in length as well. Let's measure this right now. So I've not even measured this. Let's have a look at this. So from the top just there all the way to the bottom was around about 56%. Now what have we done just here for Bitcoin? Let's take a look at this. So we've actually 52%, so we're 4% off. So it's very, very similar. But something that's showing me here is we've got this double top scenario. Look at this double top scenario, okay? And then we come down, we've put in this relief rally. Come down, put in this relief rally. And at that point, capitulate, come up, get back above the EMAs and fake out. Capitulate, come up, get back above the EMAs, fake out, and then we continue to roll and actually put in the low in just there, okay, in June, I remember. And so at that point, that was the low, okay. So right now, potentially, this is identical to this correction, okay. This is a wave down, and this is potentially a C wave down, identical to this, when everyone's really fearful. But what did we do once we bottomed out? We start to come up, come back down, high, low, and then we broke out. So it's mirroring it, isn't it? It is mirroring it to a T. Now, one thing here, equally, look at the EMAs. Look at the EMAs. You've got your def cross just there. You've got def cross just there. That def cross here that we've just put in is actually higher than this def cross, okay? And at that point, we've rolled. Look at the curvature here in the EMAs. You've got your little curl just there. You've got your little curl just there as well, which is this point here, this point here. And it's at that point, you capitulated, and you've rallied into the EMAs again. You're rallying into the EMAs again. You're creating this reversal pattern down here, this double bottom, and then boom, you get the tightening just there. Look at the gap of the EMAs as well, just there. Look at the gap. And right now you're getting that same gap, okay? So what you want to see here is the EMAs coming together, getting squeezed, okay? So you force down to the corner, coil up, force down to this corner, gets really nasty shit, we roll into a bear, but all the alts are holding their key lows, okay, and consolidating on them lows, okay. And it's at that point here, if we can hold this low, you know, and start to get back above and get this tightening on these EMAs, the daily 20 and the 55, you're going to be looking at a very, very similar scenario here when people are really fearful, and we're not going to necessarily lose this low, are we? You know, all we're doing right here, this scenario right here is this scenario right here, okay? Very, very strikingly similar. It's uncanny. Now, obviously, if we come down and we sweep them lows, we're going to come lower. But everyone is expecting this, and everyone's expecting the 30k retest as well. But we are creating a signature bottom reversal pattern here, like this one. Beautiful W bottom pattern, coming down to the low. Oh, shit, it's going to zero. And at that point, you pop out. So we're doing something very, very similar right now. So where could be a fantastic entry point in this market if it is playing out exactly like it did in that previous bottoming out structure that we got way back there in the summer, and we got the alts bottoming out as well, you know, holding their key lows. Now where could we get some cheeky bids in for the continuation of the trend? Remember, nothing I say is financial advice, but you can see here would be a key level of resistance, okay, and this is your low. And what you're doing right now, you're rallying into the resistance of the daily 20 and you're coming back to get your mates, okay? So I will be targeting some key levels just there, the golden ratio, the 1618. But what I'm going to do is look at this particular retracement and look at exactly how deep this came. I would imagine this filled to 786, so we went from there to there. And we actually came down, and you would have been fruitful putting some bids on the 786 down there at 30,174. I know we came a little bit lower, but we didn't quite come all the way to the low. So basically, you come up impulsively, you retrace to this low, and at that point, just there, people were really fearful, but you got back above DMAs on the 20 on the daily, and you got your breakout. Okay, so right now, if you're looking for something like that, let's take a look at these fib levels, okay, for Bitcoin. Because if this is going to play out exactly like it did in the summer, this might be a lovely little cheat sheet here for Bitcoin going forward, okay? So this is your high, because you've come down like you did in the summer. You got your wick down, and you start to come back up. I need to put that down there, sorry. That's your wick down. And right now you start to come back up, and this is where you're retracing right now to this low, okay? So the 786, if it gets nasty, this could be an amazing entry point, okay? With a stop loss, because at that point, that could actually be where Bitcoin's trying to come down to. So from here right now, that's a continuation of around about 6.44%. Now that has to hold, basically. This low here has to hold, because if it doesn't, you know, all you're doing is retracing into resistance, you're coming back, you're losing this low, you're creating something called a reversal wave, you start to run into that resistance, then there's your technical target, the 1618, okay? So it's all about this low. But so far, it is kind of mirroring that correction that we went through in the summer last year, and it did come down to 786. So that could be a potential target right now for Bitcoin. 34241. That's where it could actually be trying to come down to, and it not necessarily come all the way down, sort of slowly creep down like this, get some bids on there, and then that's where you're getting your V-shape. And you can see, look, you've got your beautiful W bottom pattern, and you start to come back up and break above the EMAs, and you're gone scare, and you got your breakout target, and we found a low just there, okay? So that's basically Bitcoin. Hope you enjoyed that update. Stay healthy, stay strong, but we're looking to get back above the EMAs and then hold and back test, and that's your breakout confirmation just there, okay? Take care, everyone. Back to another update on Bitcoin. Stay healthy, stay strong, stay tuned. I'm sorry for the duration of the video. Bye bye.